What's up, everybody? Man, it's been a couple weeks since I've been on here, but I just got done watching the UFC 319 presser, and man, I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting so excited for these fights coming up on Saturday. Let's start from the main event. Dricus du Plessis versus Hamzat Chimaev. What a fight that's going to be. I truly believe this is going to be the best main event of the year so far. Everybody is leaning really heavy on Chimaev and his wrestling. And yes, he's got great wrestling. But we have to realize that was at 170. He struggled to make that weight. He's up at 185 now. Yes, he just came off a win against Robert Whitaker when he smashed his teeth in. But let's just be real. You know, Whitaker is a former champion. All the respect in the world. I love Bobby Knuckles. But he's been trying to get back to the title for the last 3-4 years since he's lost it. So he's shown points where he's really, really good. And then he's shown points where he kind of lacks. I think he focused too much on being taken down by Hamzat the last fight. And he was just reacting and not pushing at all that very first round, and it didn't get out of the first. And that's when, if you sit back, Chimaev is just going to take you down and make you pay. It was a quality win, but it was against, you know, a kind of already slipping Robert Whitaker. As much as I hate to admit that, he's down on the backside of his career, and he's, you know, that was his last push. And then, of course, he just lost to RDR a few weeks ago. So that one is not really aging as well as we thought it would. But, I mean, yeah, he got the win, but it's not the same win as DDP when he beat him 2 years ago. You know, when Robert Whitaker was surging back, you know, for that title shot, and he had to go through DDP, who he met, and then DDP finished him, you know. So, and then DDP, of course, the reigning champion. His last 4 fights have been against 3 former world champions, or world champions or former world champions. He beats Strickland for the title. You know, he beats Whitaker, beats Strickland for the title, beats Adesanya, and then beats Strickland again. I mean, and then the last fight against Strickland, you know, the only reason I feel he didn't finish him is because he broke his nose early in the fight. And, Strickland was just not willing to engage anymore the rest of that fight. So he was kind of on his bike. And then you look to the fights with Hamzat, with Gilbert Burns, and Kamaru Usman. Both those fights at 170, right? Gilbert Burns gives Hamzat all he can handle for 3 rounds. Usman, the same thing, all he can handle for 3 rounds. Gilbert Burns mastered jiu-jitsu, right? Every time he got taken down, when he went to his back, he started moving his hips around. Hamzat didn't want any bit of that. So he gets up, disengages. Gilbert Burns hurt him in that fight. Kamaru Usman, going into the second round, starts surging, wins the third round. It's a very close fight. Many people thought Kamaru Usman won that fight. And then I'm thinking, okay, take Hamzat out of those fights, put DDP in those fights. DDP runs through Gilbert Burns, and DDP runs through Kamaru Usman, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You know, and then you have Hamzat barely squeaking through those fights. Yes, he gets the wins, but they weren't over-the-top wins. He didn't finish Gilbert Burns. He didn't finish Kamaru Usman, right? And then you have to match their resumes. Compared to who DDP has fought and compared to Hamzat who's fought, Hamzat only has really one good win at 85, and that's Robert Whitaker, but that's a faded Robert Whitaker. And then you have DDP, who's already beat 3 world champions. You know, so I know everybody's making a big thing about the wrestling, but this isn't wrestling. This is mixed martial arts, right? You have to be able to mix it up and be able to use all the tools available. If Hamzat thinks he's going to run through Dricus du Plessis in the first round, I think he's going to be in for a rude awakening. I think DDP is going to weather that storm, possibly get a takedown inside of a scramble, and he's going to make him pay. He's going to hurt him. Dricus has shown, he's proven, he doesn't slow down. He just continues to march forward with his awkward style. He lands, he hurts people, he takes people down, he can knock you out on the feet. he's going to continue to do what he's going to do. And I think he's just getting better. The more and more he defends his title, the stronger he gets. I mean, that guy's mindset is unbreakable. He's such a good champion. I love the 185 division right now. There's so many good opponents coming up. So I think whoever wins this is going to be in for a possible distinguished reign if they can continue to defend. You know, I think if DDP can get through Hamzat, which I believe he will, he's got RDR knocking on the door. He has Fluffy Hernandez knocking on the door. He has Imavov knocking on the door. Those are 3 fights right there that are quality fights that he can take. You know, and the same for Hamzat. If Hamzat can get the job done, he's got those 3 guys right there waiting for him, just knocking at the door, chomping at the bit for the opportunity for the title. So, but when it comes down to it, I thought the Vegas odds are just wild to me. Like, the disrespect for DDP, I think they have him at like a plus 250, plus, I might be wrong. It might not be plus 250, but it's plus 200 something. And then DDP by knockout is plus like 5, over 5. But if I had to pick, I'm taking DDP. I just think his mentality, his mindset, he's proven at 185. You know, I'm taking DDP for the win. And then the co-main, I'm just going to cover the co-main, possibly one of the feature fights. But the co-main, Lerone Murphy and Aaron Pico, man, I really like Aaron Pico. I was a big fan of his, and on my last episode, I picked Lerone Murphy to win, and I'm still going to stick by that. You know, I really like Aaron Pico. He's Mexican, I'm Mexican. Okay, that's the Mexican bias, but he just hasn't fought anybody on the level of Lerone Murphy. You know, through his Bellator, PFL, he's not fought anyone on the level of Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy is a technician. He's slick. He's going to move in and out. He can probably pop shot his way to a victory if he has to, but he's shown skills, you know. It's going to be hard for Aaron Pico to find the takedowns because I know he's a great wrestler. It's going to be hard for him to find those takedowns when Lerone Murphy is constantly moving and pop shotting him, making him pay kicks, punches. I mean, it's going to be really hard for Aaron Pico to find his way in to get those takedowns that he wants. I think it goes 3 rounds. I think it's a decision. I think Lerone Murphy wins 2 rounds to 1. I think Aaron Pico might find a big shot somewhere in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's 30-27 Lerone Murphy. I think the big lights of the UFC, the UFC jitters are real. This is the first time Aaron Pico has been on the big stage like this. I mean, you saw his face at the press conference. He was just overwhelmed by the amount of people that were there at the United Center in Chicago today. I just think Lerone Murphy gets it done. I just think he's too good. He's fought better competition. I love Aaron Pico, and I want him to be successful in the UFC, but I just think this is a bad matchup for him being his first fight in the UFC. And then the feature, I believe, is Cannonier MVP. I didn't realize how tall MVP was until I saw them at the press conference stare down. He is like towers over Cannonier. I like Cannonier. He has a very, very, very good win stoppage over RoboCop. But RoboCop is a different guy than MVP. RoboCop was there willing to trade, stand in the pocket with Cannonier, which is not a good idea. I mean, the guy came down from heavyweight to light heavyweight to middleweight. He's got huge power. Good fighter, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to handle the style. I mean, Shara Bullet couldn't handle the style, and he's a mover. He's a kicker, and MVP, I think, is going to just give him a different look that he hasn't seen before. I mean, yes, Cannonier fought Izzy, but Izzy doesn't move like MVP. You know, he's a kickboxer. MVP is a karate point style guy. I think the in and out, the movement is going to be too much for Cannonier. I think it's a decision win for MVP. So yeah, I'm just going to cover those 3 fights today. Possibly tomorrow, I'm going to look down the card further. If there's any changes in the betting lines, I will update. But I'm looking forward to a great Saturday of fights. And Premier League kicks off tomorrow. Can't wait for Saturday, even though it's early in the morning. Newcastle United up to 2 in Hawaii the Lads. I will see you guys tomorrow, possibly Saturday for a recap. And if not, I'll see you next week. Thank you guys once again for following. See you soon.